Last month, a judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking her from making those appointments without approval from trustees.
Well, there is more high drama in the village of Dalton tonight, where embattled Mayor Tiffany Henyard is.
Tiffany Henyard, often called the super mayor, is at the center of political turmoil. Serving as both mayor of Dalton, Illinois, and supervisor of Thornton Township, Henyard suffered a major blow when she was denied a spot on the Democratic ballot for township supervisor. This defeat, combined with mounting scandals and growing public outrage, signals a potential political downfall. Once seen as a powerful figure, Henyard faces accusations of lavish spending at taxpayers' expense, fueling dissatisfaction among constituents. As her political empire crumbles, the question looms: is this the beginning of the end for Henyard's career? Let's delve into the unraveling of this controversial politician.
There are perception issues with it that are right to get attention. Will the court look at those perception issues? Probably not, but the voters certainly should.
Picture this: a packed auditorium in Homewood, Illinois, buzzing with tension as stakes hit their peak. It's Thornton Township's first Democratic caucus in decades, orchestrated by State Senator Napoleon Harris. As Harris entered, his supporters filled the room, securing seats and setting the stage for a swift, decisive victory. Meanwhile, Tiffany Henyard's supporters, many allegedly using township resources, were left waiting in the cold as the venue reached its 600-person capacity. True to form, Henyard's team arrived late, only to find the doors closing. What unfolded wasn't just a logistical debacle, but a political spectacle, highlighting the deep divides and strategic missteps shaping this high-stakes showdown.
New drama tonight involving a controversial politician in the south suburbs. Tiffany Henyard was the only Thornton Township leader to show up for a scheduled.
The caucus lasted just 7 minutes, enough time for State Senator Napoleon Harris and his slate to secure the Democratic nomination for the April election. 7 minutes was all it took to shatter Tiffany Henyard's hopes of re-election as township supervisor. The room erupted in cheers at Harris's victory, but Henyard was visibly furious, accusing Harris of running an illegal meeting. "You didn't run any of this the right way," she shouted, her voice trembling with frustration. Yet beneath the anger was desperation. Henyard knew this defeat left her off the Democratic ticket. Her only remaining option: running as a write-in candidate. A near impossible uphill battle.
There is a new legal battle brewing in Dalton between the mayor and some village trustees.
As Regina Waldrop explains, it has a lot to do with 2 meetings held earlier.
Henyard's complaints about the caucus process carried little weight. Harris and his team followed the rules, and despite her protests, the requirements were clear. Candidates needed a full slate, including a certified assessor, something Henyard's team failed to deliver. Harris's attorney, Burton Odilon, emphasized this is the process that has been in place for decades. It's legal, it's democratic, and it was executed properly. Henyard's claims of voter suppression and unfair practices were met with skepticism, given her own history of bending rules to her advantage. But this controversy is only the latest in a career marred by scandal. Henyard has faced accusations of lavish taxpayer spending, corruption, and mismanagement. Residents of Thornton Township and Dalton have grown increasingly frustrated, with one summing it up: "She's done nothing but embarrass this community. It's time for her to go." While her departure seems imminent, Henyard appears ready to fight to the bitter end.
Fight.
You are a clown. We will continue to speak out against wrongdoing.
Why won't you step down?
Henyard's response to her defeat was as dramatic as ever. She stormed out of the auditorium, flanked by a handful of supporters, as the crowd mockingly sang, "Nah, nah, hey, hey, kiss him goodbye." The irony was striking. Henyard, notorious for shouting over others in meetings and silencing dissent, was now being drowned out by her own constituents. "Karma and justice in action," one observer quipped, and they weren't wrong. For years, Henyard wielded her dual roles as mayor and supervisor to consolidate power, often with an air of arrogance. But now her reign appears to be crumbling. Public disdain goes beyond her political antics. It's rooted in the tangible consequences of her leadership. Thornton Township is grappling with severe financial challenges, many stemming from Henyard's administration. Investigations into her spending have revealed shocking excesses: tens of thousands on first-class flights, luxury hotels, fine dining, and even a notorious $3,000 Amazon splurge in a single day. For residents, the frustration is personal and deeply justified.
Home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now
Henyard's leadership style has sparked as much controversy as her spending habits. Critics describe her as combative and dismissive, often silencing dissent during public meetings. One former official characterized her behavior as bullying, saying, "She treats anyone who disagrees with her like an enemy." This abrasive approach has alienated colleagues and constituents alike, leaving many residents feeling disillusioned and disconnected from their local government.
Until 2025, yet Tiffany Henyard has officially decided she wants to stay as mayor despite the cloud of controversy.
So adding insult to injury, Henyard's legal troubles have cast a dark shadow over her administration. The FBI's investigation into her financial dealings has reportedly widened to include close allies, some accused of fraudulent activities on her behalf. A particularly damning case involved a top police officer and Henyard ally who was recently indicted for bankruptcy fraud, further intensifying calls for accountability. This is no longer just about poor leadership, it's systemic corruption, and the residents of Thornton Township have had enough. The scandals don't end there. Henyard's cancer charity, the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, is under scrutiny for failing to disclose how it spends its funds. The Illinois Attorney General's office has even ordered the foundation to stop soliciting donations until it complies with state regulations. Meanwhile, her use of township buses to transport supporters to the caucus has ignited further outrage, with critics calling it another blatant misuse of public resources. Just because she's getting the boot doesn't mean Tiffany and her goons shouldn't be indicted and prosecuted for corruption, one commenter wrote, echoing the growing public demand for justice. The calls for accountability are louder than ever.
But you don't even have a sense to even look in our face. But you rather just steal our money and do what you want to do.
As the walls close in, Tiffany Henyard's future looks increasingly bleak. The FBI is reportedly investigating her administration, and legal experts warn she could face serious consequences if found guilty of any wrongdoing. This is about more than politics, one analyst explained. This is about accountability. If she's broken the law, she needs to face the consequences. With multiple investigations underway and lawsuits mounting, Henyard is on the brink of both political and legal disaster. Despite it all, Henyard remains defiant. At a fiery press conference after the caucus, she vowed, "The show will go on." Yet her words felt hollow, with even her staunchest supporters beginning to lose faith. Keith Price, a loyal ally, optimistically suggested her name recognition might help as a write-in candidate, but admitted uncertainty. For many, it seems her days in office are numbered.
New at 6, embattled Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is mounting a re-election bid. Henyard made the announcement in a post on her Facebook.
Meanwhile, Harris and his team are pressing forward, preparing for the April election, and focusing on issues that matter to the community. A former NFL player and successful businessman, Harris has pledged to bring transparency and accountability to Thornton Township. His decisive caucus victory signals that residents are ready for change. As for Henyard, her next move is uncertain. Will she double down on legal battles, investing time and resources into lawsuits that may go nowhere, or will she finally step aside to allow the community to heal? One thing is clear, Tiffany Henyard's political career is in free fall, and recovery seems unlikely. Public reaction to her downfall has been overwhelmingly negative. Social media is flooded with commentary from residents and political observers, many viewing her defeat as a long overdue reckoning. Tiffany often just shouts over others in meetings. Now she's the one being shouted down, one commenter noted. Karma and justice in action.
Point the finger to Tiffany or allow me. I'm over it. Now it's time for me.
Amid the celebration, a lingering frustration remains. Many residents feel Henyard has left Thornton Township in disarray, with years of work ahead to repair the damage. "We're going to be cleaning up her mess for a long time," one taxpayer lamented. But at least now we have a chance to move forward. So, what's next for Thornton Township? Will Harris deliver on his promises and restore trust in local government? And what about Henyard? Will she face legal consequences for her actions, or find a way to bounce back? The answers remain uncertain, but this story is far from over. What do you think? Can Harris be the leader Thornton Township needs? Or is this just another chapter in its political saga? Does Henyard deserve a second chance? Or is it time for her to step aside for good? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.